This is ABC7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Haley Wilkes.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us. Our top story tonight, deadly severe storms in the south and the raging wildfires in Tennessee.
Nearly 24 reported tornadoes tore across 4 states, destroying homes and a daycare center. The death toll now stands at 5 across Tennessee and Alabama, with at least 6 injured, including children. Those storms are now passing over Tennessee, where wildfires are still burning.
3 people were killed in North Alabama when an apparent tornado hit a mobile home in Jackson County right around midnight. Further to the east, the same possible tornado also hit a closed daycare center, injuring several people who were seeking shelter there, among them 4 children who are now in critical condition. In Mississippi, strong winds up to 60 miles an hour flipped trucks and damaged buildings.
Trees and some 18-wheeler beds and things that were actually tilted over or near tilted over, and we're really lucky that nobody was hurt here tonight. It could be the other way.
Storms that spawned deadly winds have dumped more than 2 inches of rain across much of North Alabama, causing floods after months of drought there. In Tennessee, the storms also turned deadly. This as people begin to get a better look at the damage done after raging wildfires swept through a resort area. Homes have been gutted, cars, belongings scorched. The wildfires destroying more than 150 buildings and is now being blamed for 7 deaths in that area. 3 more victims were found today. More than 14,000 people were forced to evacuate. Heavy rain in that area today will help put out some of the fires, but still more than 200 firefighters are battling flames and hot spots.
It's the last day of hurricane season, and it was much more active than usual. Hurricane experts say there were 15 named storms this year. The Suncoast felt the impact from 2 tropical storms, Colin and Hermine. ABC7's Rick Adams joins us live now from the Sarasota County Emergency Operations Center with more on this hurricane season. Rick?
Yeah, Haley, this hurricane season has certainly kept all of us on our toes. It's a big relief now that we can kiss it goodbye. It's been the busiest hurricane season the Suncoast has seen in years. Tropical Storm Colin in June and Tropical Storm Hermine in September caused severe flooding and damage to homes and businesses. One of the places that felt the biggest impact from the storms are the Burgundy condominiums in Bradenton.
About 50 apartments around there with damage, flood, pretty high up.
A few months later, Simmons says things are looking much better. He and many others have fixed most of the damaged apartments by installing new flooring and also ripping out and replacing drywall.
People that got damaged was accessed and ripped out, replaced, and on to the next one and so forth. Looks back to better than new.
Sherilyn Burris, the emergency management chief for Manatee County, is proud of the way her team handled this busy hurricane season, especially because it's been 11 years since the last major hurricane activity in the area.
I think it caught people by surprise because they weren't, they've gone so long without a storm. We had some unique hurricane damage this year with a lot of rainfall.
Both Colin and Hermine caused hundreds of thousands of dollars in damage in Manatee County. A lot of those folks affected did take advantage of FEMA funding. Ed McCrane, emergency management chief for Sarasota County, says there wasn't as much damage other than a lot of beach erosion, but they did have a lot of flooding issues to contend with.
I'm very, very pleased and impressed with everybody's efforts this year. We really got an opportunity to test a lot of our procedures.
Part of that test was helping people from the East Coast during Hurricane Matthew find shelter on the Suncoast. Both McCrane and Burris say because we are situated in the tropics, they are always ready for big storms all year long, and not just during hurricane season. And we get to do it all over again in 6 months. Hurricane season kicks off on June 1st. Reporting live from Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams. Back to you.
All right, Rick, thank you. 2 airplanes that provide crucial information about storms and hurricanes will not be relocating to the Suncoast. After more than 2 decades at MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa, the Hurricane Hunter planes known as Kermit and Miss Piggy are moving to Lakeland. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration selected Lakeland Linder Regional Airport as the home for its Aircraft Operations Center over the next decade. The 2 planes, a Gulfstream 4 jet and about 100 employees, are relocating. The president of Sarasota Bradenton International Airport says it put in a letter of interest for the aircraft, but was never asked to submit an official bid. NOAA hopes to get the new center up and running before the start of the 2017 hurricane season.
And now for a check on our forecast today, let's head over to Josh, who is in for Bob tonight.
All right, Scott and Haley. Well, yeah, we've had an active season as far as our hurricane season of 2016. 3 major storms, and we all remember back in September, around September 2nd, I believe it was, when Hurricane Hermine actually tracked into Florida, and that was the first hurricane that hit Florida since Hurricane Wilma back in 2005. It's only Category 1, but still along the Sun Coast. I remember reading a report that we received a wind gust of 74 miles per hour. And then, of course, we all remember Matthew. At one time, it was a Category 5 as it buzzsaws its way up the eastern side of Florida. But fortunately, today is the end of hurricane season. The tropics are all quiet at this time. What's not so quiet is down here in the southeast, or shall I say up to in the north and the southeast. We do have severe weather taking place and some very heavy rainfall, but this is good news for eastern Tennessee, where they've had those terrible fires, and this is helping to aid suppressing those fires, which is good. But that's to our north. For our area in DeSoto County, few showers around the area, but rest of the Sun Coast looks very quiet this time and beautiful conditions outside. Currently, our temperature is 77 degrees, but what does the upcoming weekend look like? We'll let you know in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Tourism is on the rise throughout the Sun Coast. It's especially visible on Manatee County's barrier islands with the constant traffic and congestion. According to a report by island officials, an infrastructure funding gap of more than $61 million is expected to grow within the next 15 years, and they are asking Manatee County for help.
What we're asking the commission, the county commission, to do is to consider an investment in the barrier islands. Their return is great. You won't make an investment that's going to return as good as an investment in the barrier islands that increases property values.
The 4 island mayors will present what they're calling a reasonable request during a Manatee County Commission meeting on December 6th. Tonight, you can learn more about a controversial project on Lido Beach. The Florida Department of Environmental Protection is holding an open house on the Lido Beach Shore Protection Project. The plan would allow 1.2 million cubic yards of sand to be dredged from Big Pass to rebuild more than 1.5 miles of beach on Lido Key. 2 groins would also be constructed at the south end of the key. The project is still in the permitting phase. The open house starts at 6 at the Waldemere Fire Station in Sarasota.
Sarasota Republican Greg Stubbe will have a key role on the state Senate's leadership team. Stubbe receiving the gavel to serve as chairman of the Judiciary Committee. His assignment could have an impact on gun legislation in the Senate, which has traditionally been more moderate about loosening restrictions on firearms. Former Judiciary Chair bottled up bills during the 2016 session that would have allowed people with concealed weapons licenses to carry guns on college campuses. Another bill would have allowed people with licenses to openly carry firearms. Stubbe, meanwhile, strongly supported efforts by the National Rifle Association and others to relax gun regulations during his time in the Florida House. He says he'll continue those efforts now in the Senate.
Certainly, we're going to continue to work to try to promote the rights of Second Amendment and concealed permit carrier holders. So I don't know what that legislation is going to look like yet, but yeah, I think there's definitely a different climate and environment in the Senate this year.
However, Senate Minority Leader Oscar Brainen believes there is still a chance to defeat the legislation, even with only 15 Democrats among the 40 senators.
Tomorrow, Manatee County will hold the first of 2 public hearings on a proposed medical marijuana moratorium. Commissioners are considering a 6-month moratorium on medical marijuana processing facilities and dispensaries. The moratorium would give them time to understand what the regulations will now be that the use of medical marijuana is now legal. If approved, it would only apply to unincorporated parts of the county. City governments would be left to make their own decisions. This hearing will take place during the county's land use meeting tomorrow morning. The second hearing is scheduled for December 13th.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, from billion-dollar businessman to commander-in-chief, Donald Trump announces he's leaving his business empire to focus on his new job.
And ABC7 meteorologist Josh Stone will be back with your full weather forecast. Plus, a lot of people go for the low-carb, high-protein diet, but it might not be the best thing for certain women. We'll find out why in Health Smart.
cancer. I beat cancer. I kicked cancer.
You've seen me roll for 100 G's, but I got a little more than dough riding on this one. They call you Lady Luck, but there is room for doubt. At times you have a very unladylike way of running out. And so the best that I can do is pray. Luck, be a lady tonight.
Whether you're a homeowner looking for a professional installation or a contractor looking for top quality products, Sarasota Glass and Mirror can meet your every need.
For 42 years, Sarasota Glass and Mirror has been the area's premier supplier and installer of quality glass products for your home or business. As an authorized PGT WindGuard dealer, we know how to protect your home with everything from the PGT WindGuard impact-resistant windows and doors to shower enclosures and decorative mirrors. The Sarasota Glass and Mirror team has the knowledge to tackle any project.
This holiday season, give the greatest gifts of all, safety and peace of mind. Subaru offers more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And now during the Subaru Share the Love event, you can lease the most award-winning small SUV on the planet. A new 2017 Subaru Forester for just $209 a month. Or get 0% financing. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Selling your home? Insist on a 3D showcase tour from Gulf Shores Realty. Virtual tours are flat and boring and look more like a slideshow than a tour. A 3D tour from Gulf Shores Realty is like actually walking through the home without the drive. Get instant access to your next home from any device. Multiple views give homebuyers a perspective like no other. For a limited time, mention ABC7 and Gulf Shores Realty will provide a complimentary 3D tour with your new listing.
So many possibilities worth exploring. Minnesota Flooring.
Looking for carpet? Look no further. Minnesota Flooring has Smart Strand carpet as low as $1.79 per square foot. Installed, no add-ons or extras. Unbelievable? Minnesota Flooring can have in-stock carpet installed in your home in 48 hours for as low as $1.99 per square foot. Don't miss these prices. Visit Minnesota Flooring today.
Tomorrow, Donald Trump sets off on a thank you tour after his historic win for the White House.
He also made a big announcement that he is leaving his billion-dollar business, saying the presidency is a more important task. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the latest from Washington.
Donald Trump legally cutting ties with this billion-dollar company. The president-elect made the announcement on Twitter that he'll leave his great business in total to his children in order to fully focus on running the country. The business separation to avoid conflicts of interest comes as Trump fills key economic posts. Secretary of Commerce, fellow billionaire Wilbur Ross, Treasury Secretary, Goldman Sachs executive Steve Mnuchin.
Well, we're going to have the most significant middle-income tax cut since Reagan. We're going to incorporate the child care program. So this is going to be a tremendous boon to the economy.
Mnuchin, who promised to focus on the American worker, praised Trump's deal with Carrier to keep 1,000 factory jobs in Indiana, VP-elect Mike Pence's home state.
The president-elect and the vice president picked up the phone and called the CEO of United Technologies and told him we wanted to keep jobs here. Can't remember the last time a president did that.
Trump is expected to release the details of the deal in Indianapolis Thursday. It's the first leg of his thank you tour, which ends later in the day in Cincinnati, Ohio. Trump is still trying to decide on a Secretary of State, sitting down for dinner with contender Mitt Romney, who once called Trump a con man. Trump's White House Chief of Staff Reince Priebus on Fox News.
When he makes the decision, it's the decision that's best for America, regardless of background.
Trump's team hinted he's down to 4 Secretary of State finalists: Romney, Senator Bob Corker, former CIA Director David Petraeus, and former Mayor Rudy Giuliani. As for Trump's business, House Democrats are calling for a congressional hearing to examine his potential conflicts of interest. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
Here at home, Englewood Beach Waterfest organizers want your feedback on the races this year. The Englewood Chamber of Commerce has an online survey to find out what business owners and the public think about the boat races. The survey was sent to about 2,100 people, including the race teams, Organizers say the results will be used to help make the event better next year. The survey is also available on the Chamber of Commerce website if you'd like to fill it out too. Give your opinion.
Seemed to be a success.
I thought it was a fun weekend.
It was.
For everybody. Yeah. Great weather for it too, that's for sure.
Yeah, that was
Fantastic
very nice.
weather.
Yeah.
There is a cold front coming. It's going to change our weather slightly.
I'm okay
but
with
I
that.
think very pleasant conditions will be in the forecast.
Awesome.
But not to our north. They're dealing with some rough weather. Let's check out our tower cam over in Lakewood Ranch, and we had mostly cloudy skies today, peaks of sunshine, and it was a little muggy out there with that southerly wind transporting in the humid air, and now the clouds are thinning out at this time. There's a little bit of shower activity over here in DeSoto County and a little bit earlier in Charlotte County, but it's very light. Maybe some steady showers here in Arcadia, but you can see the southerly flow of all this moisture coming up from the south. But really, where the real action is up to our north in the deep south here. We're talking about portions of Alabama, in the panhandle of Florida, also Georgia, have tornado watches out, severe thunderstorm watches out. Just some nasty weather, and these are the storms that produced the tornadic activity yesterday. They are tracking eastward, kind of lighting up like a Christmas tree here, unfortunately for the folks here in Georgia. But this is all due to this cold front that's moving towards the east. And the upper level dynamics right now over this area is conducive for the severe weather development. That same cold front is coming our way, but it looks like that's going to be weakened by the time it arrives, and also the upper level support for severe weather will be non-existent. So really nothing on the radar. Was some shower activity, looked like in DeSoto County earlier, but that is gone at this time. Let's check out our current temperature right now. You have to love this, 77 degrees, dew point at 68 degrees, but as the temperature falls this evening, it will get close to that dew point, and it won't be a surprise if some patchy fog develops in the overnight hours. So look out for that if you're going to be out late or on the road early tomorrow morning. Around the state, 78 in Tallahassee, 79 in Jacksonville. It is 80 here in Key West, so comfortable conditions throughout the Sunshine State at this time. 78 in Arcadia, 74 in Inglewood, 77 in Sarasota, 75 in Cortez. So mid to upper 70s, and we're going to continue this trend into tomorrow. Our average for a high is 76. We're going to be above that. We're going to top out in the low 80s once again, but then this cold front comes our way as we get into late tomorrow, and that's going to bring some dry air and also cool us down to more normal-like conditions, mid to upper 70s. But again, all the action as far as rainfall goes is up to our north. Boy, we really could use some rain, and like I said, the tail end of this cold front's just going to kind of weaken by the time it comes to us, so no real rainfall at all for our area. By the way, today is November 30th. It's the last day of hurricane season. The peak was on September 10th, but as we edge all the way down to November, and now we're at November 30th, the season ends and the activity decreases. Up to the north, it's 28 in Minot, North Dakota. We're in the warm spot on the map here in Sarasota, upper 70s at this time. But that cold air behind the front will be cooling folks up here in the northern plains. Once again, the front comes by. Few clouds in our forecast, but you can see the dry air settles in, and we'll have mostly sunny skies for our Sunday. If you're taking the boat out for tomorrow, expect a south wind becoming north. Once that cold front comes in, about 10 to 15 knots. Sea is just offshore 2 to 4 feet. Water temperature at 71 degrees. Your high tide tonight will be at 11:46 p.m. As far as your forecast this evening, dropping down to 67. Watch out for that patchy fog. Tomorrow's high 81, above our average. Weekend forecast looking very nice. It's dry, and when's the best chance of rain? Well, if not late next week, it could be the following week when the system comes in here to bring us some moisture. Scott?
All right, Josh, thank you so much. Now to Suncoast Traffic Watch. No crashes in the area right now, but US 41 in Sarasota is congested from about Bee Ridge Road north to Fruitville Road, all in Sarasota, slow going at this hour. And if you get updates on road conditions and accidents on the Suncoast 24 hours a day, you can download our app. Just search for ABC7 Sarasota. You will get notifications about crashes and road closures sent directly to your smartphone. Haley?
Thank you, Scott. As we get older, we have to take extra steps to stay healthy. We can't always get away with some of the things we did when we were young. A new study indicates that for older women, a high-protein diet may not be the best thing. Kim Hutcherson explains why.
Women over 50 who eat high-protein diets could have a greater risk of heart failure, especially if a lot of their protein comes from meat. That's according to a study presented at the annual scientific conference of the American Heart Association. The study examined the protein intake of nearly 104,000 women aged 50 to 79 over a 5-year period. Participants self-reported daily food intake, but since self-reporting is often unreliable, researchers also used biomarker data to determine actual protein intake. Although all participants were free of heart failure during the study period, about 1,700 of them developed the problem by 2005. Researchers found that postmenopausal women who followed a high-protein diet had a significantly higher rate of heart failure. In fact, the risk was almost double. Meanwhile, women who ate less protein or who ate vegetable protein appeared to be at a lower risk of heart failure. The study's authors say more research is needed to determine whether this result is linked to the molecular mechanisms of animal protein, lifestyle choices, or other factors. For today's Health Minute, I'm Kim Hutcherson.
A possible perk to waiting to have a baby. A new study out of the University of Southern California suggests that women who have their last baby when they are older than 35 may have sharper cognitive skills later in life. Researchers found that women who had their last baby older were better at memorizing lists of words when they were 60 years old compared with those who stopped bearing children earlier on. Despite the findings, researchers are not necessarily recommending that women wait until age 35 to finish having children because of the general increase in health risks. Coming up next on your Suncoast News, tragedy under the Big Top. What happened to make Cirque du Soleil cancel its show last night? Plus, one football fan's freezing stand to make sure his team gets a win. We'll explain why he's doing this. Those stories when we come back.
Hurricane season is here, so when severe weather threatens, count on the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7.
We bring you storm warnings faster and with more detail than ever before.
And track storms right down to your neighborhood.
On air, online, and on your mobile device. Turn to the official Suncoast Storm Team at ABC7. We're here for you.
Black Friday's biggest deals are still here. That's right, the Black Friday sales event is going strong at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come shop the area's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers. Or check out the stylish new Jeep Renegade, starting at just $16,999. Stop by today and drive away in a brand new Jeep Patriot for just $14,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota today.
Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by Lux Art Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Types of timber, cuts of meat, cooking times, temperatures, rubs, seasonings, sauces. You name it, they know it. That's what makes them who they are, Sonny's Pitmasters. And proud of it. Come get some baby back ribs at Sonny's Barbecue. On their own or paired with favorites like jalapeno cheddar hot links or pulled or sliced pork plus 2 sides and bread. Sonny's Barbecue. Local Pitmasters since '68.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beauty Rest, Eye Comfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
A Cirque du Soleil performance in California is cut short after one of its employees died. Police say the technician was injured in an industrial accident. Crew members say canceling a show is rare, but due to the tragic circumstances, it was necessary.
Yeah, we always like to come to these shows. They're entertaining and, they're good shows. But that's too bad. I hope everything turns out.
Show is in San Francisco until the end of January. A follow-up now to a deadly circus tent collapse. A Sarasota-based circus operator has agreed to pay $24,000 in fines issued by federal safety officials for the accident. About 100 people were inside the tent in New Hampshire in August of 2015 when high winds from a storm toppled the tent. The collapse killed a man and his 6-year-old daughter. 50 others were hurt. OSHA ruling the circus operator, Walker International Events, failed to properly erect the tent and ignored weather warnings. Walker is now out of business. OSHA says it will not resume operations unless it first implements a comprehensive safety and health management plan.
Police think a man who stole a pot of gold in New York City may be hiding out in Florida. A quick-thinking thief stole an 86-pound bucket of gold flakes worth nearly $1.6 million off an armored truck in Manhattan. He swiped the bucket off the back of the truck on September 9th when the guard went to the truck's cab to get his cell phone. The thief lugged the gold flakes up the street, then hopped into a white van and took off. Police say the suspect probably didn't know what was inside the bucket. Looks pretty heavy, too. A Packers fan in Wisconsin isn't letting cold weather stop him from making a vow to his team. Glenn Seafelt swore that he would not wear pants until his team won a game, no matter what the thermostat said. But after a 4-game losing streak, the Packers finally won on Monday night against the Philadelphia Eagles. But now, since the Packers won, he says he has to keep this act going.
I decided, I think my shorts are good luck. I'm going to wear shorts as long as they keep winning now.
Seafelt also says he actually prefers wearing them over pants, even if it is snowing outside. If you're inside, then it's
nice.
fine. Yeah, because probably the heat is cranked up anyways, but interesting. Superstitions, sports superstitions.
Don Brennan's long-lost brother.
Prototype, right. Still to come on your Suncoast News. Suncoast homeowners are under investigation.
The rules in Venice they may have broken that could land them into some hot water. We'll have that story coming up.
Holiday scratch-offs are here, and oh, they make great surprises. Imagine the joy they will bring. With over $126 million in prizes, use them for a wreath or a place card for your feast. Attach them, scratch them, and let the magic happen. Holiday scratch-offs. The Florida Lottery has them. Just imagine.
They say good things come to those that wait. Well, you've waited long enough. You deserve to feel fabulous in your fashionable new Fiat 500X from Alfa Romeo Fiat in Sarasota. Boldly innovative, seductively stylish. Fiat gives you everything you'd expect from a capable utility vehicle, like a spacious interior and advanced safety systems, designed and built like a sexy little sportster. Don't wait any longer. You deserve to feel fabulous. Get a new Fiat at Alfa Romeo Fiat of Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Being the caregiver for someone you love is truly a blessing. But sometimes you can lose a part of yourself. To be your best, for them and for you, it's important to have time to be able to recharge your batteries. When you call Tidewell Hospice, they can give you a chance to do just that. And with the peace of mind of knowing your loved one is in the very best hands. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
What makes America's #1 beach even better? How about seafood and music? Don't miss the Siesta Beach Seafood and Music Festival happening Saturday and Sunday, December 3rd and 4th from 10 to 6 p.m. Savor mouth-watering Florida Gulf Coast seafood dishes by top restaurants and chefs while you enjoy great live music from some of Florida's top musical groups. So grab your family and friends at the Siesta Beach Seafood and Music Festival December 3rd and 4th. For more information, visit seafoodfestivals.com.
They care. They take the time to understand you, take the time to understand your case.
There's no better satisfaction to me than to see a client who is happy because of the job we've done for them.
It's really actually very comforting to know that there's someone that you've heard of and you're getting recommendations about that you can turn to when you have a problem.
I felt like I had a partner in this, and he was going to be by my side.